A hammer fell off the roof. The hammer slid down the roof just in time to break the screws on the billboard. And the man who passed by died. On the other side of town, an old man was walking along dragging a manhole cover. He didn't notice the manhole cover crashed through the rocks under the tires. And then the tanker truck started skiing down the slope and accelerated straight into the men sitting in the car. The gasoline poured out of the tank in an instant. He tried to escape, but the door wouldn't open. At that moment, the old man just now threw his cigarette out and ignited the gasoline. And on the other side, on the boy's 6th birthday, the nanny gave him a big present, and then she jumped in front of everyone. Everyone was shocked. And these accidents were no accident. It was all caused by this boy. It turns out that this boy was born on June 6th at 6 o'clock. 3 meteorites fell on that day. It was an omen of evil to come. And on the same day, Lee's newborn baby died. A priest found him and took him to another ward. It turned out that there was a newborn child here, too. But now he had no family. He wanted Leaf to adopt him, and after much debate, Leaf decided to adopt him and hid the truth from his wife and told her that this was their child. And so the boy grew up. In order to repay Leaf, he used his powers to cause an accident that killed his boss in an explosion. This allowed Leaf to replace him. His career was at its peak, but on the boy's 6th birthday, there was an accident. To celebrate his birthday, the nanny jumped off the roof. And because of this incident, Leaf was in the spotlight, but he thought it was just an accident. It wasn't long before a priest came to him. He said his son was the son of the devil, and that he needed to get rid of him as soon as possible. Leaf didn't believe him. He had the security guards kick him out. And when they got home, his wife felt something was wrong. She thought about it and realized that their son hadn't been sick since he was a baby. But to hide the truth, Leaf had to reassure her that she was just thinking too much. But the previous priest came back to Leaf. He said your wife was pregnant, but the devil's son will never let the child be born. He will even kill your wife, and eventually kill everyone. If you want to solve this, you have to go to the master. But Leaf still didn't believe him. He turned his head and left, and the priest seemed to realize the danger. He ran towards the church. At the door he found it locked. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning struck. It broke the steel pin. The huge steel pin fell rapidly downward, and in an instant, it ran through the priest. On the other hand, his wife told him she was pregnant. The man instantly believed the priest. He wanted to find the priest, but he found out that he was already dead. On this day, the wife stood on a chair and cleaned up a potted plant. The boy was riding a scooter, crashed into the woman. The wife fell straight down from the building. Luckily, the woman didn't die, but the baby didn't survive. Leaf wanted to avoid further tragedies, so he went to look for the master. The master already knows everything. He took out an ancient dagger and gave it to Leaf, and told him that there was a mark behind the devil's son's head, that only by plunging the dagger to end the nightmare. When he got home, Leaf lifted the boy's hair. There was a mark, so Leaf was ready to plunge the dagger in. But just then, the nanny of the house suddenly rushed over. Turns out the nanny wasn't human. She was a henchman of the devil's son. Leaf was able to get rid of him. He picked up the boy and ran towards the church. Then he prepared to use the dagger to kill the demon child once and for all. The nightmare was about to end, but then the police arrived. They shot Leaf dead, and at the end of the story, the president adopted the boy. A tragedy was unfolding